you go with the Cortex A. Wherever you have to go with the real-time applications, you will be going with airbag in the airbag ABS in vehicles. You will go with the Cortex R. And the industrial application point of view, embedded applications, you can go with Cortex R. I think the recording मैंने start नहीं किया शायद. Just to give me some time.
सर मैं स्टार्ट के लिए आता जस्ट.
के लिए का हाँ ठीक.
हो.
So we will see something about Cortex A now. Now this Cortex A architecture is based upon your ARM version 7. Okay, जैसे मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ ARM 7 TDMI. ARM 7 TDMI. So version 7, when you talk about version 7, your version 7 is mostly based upon your Cortex A. Okay. Now applications I have told you, the complex applications like your phone, set-top box, okay, network equipment. So these are the complex applications where your Cortex A is used. These A5, A7, these are also the different versions. Okay, these are the versions of Cortex A. Okay, Cortex A5, Cortex A7, Cortex A8. These are the different versions, or you can see the different members. Now, as far as Cortex A is concerned, it supports your ARM, that is 32-bit of instruction. It supports your Thumb, 16-bit of instruction, Zazilla, and DSP instruction set. So these are the main important feature of Cortex A, where we have instructions in 32-bit, 16-bit, 8-bit, and as well as where you can use your DSP instruction sets. Okay, it's a digital signal processing also can be implemented when you go with the Cortex A. Now it offers the possibility of multi-core performance. Okay, now what this multi-core performance is the same thing, that we are not reliable only with the single core. In Cortex A we have multi-core. Okay, along with the single core, we can depending upon the applications, we can have different cores. That is why it is called as a multi-core performance. It make use of a rich operating system. जैसे मैंने पहले बताया था कि it uses in the complex application, it uses the operating system, and which different operating system it uses. It uses Linux and Android 7. Okay, so as I have told you, the application is mostly in the phones and set-top box. Okay, so as far as phones are concerned, you know that operating system is an Android 7, and the other operating system like we have Linux. Okay, now these are these are only the concepts of what is a Cortex A, Cortex R, and Cortex M, and with these features we have to just understand which are the application areas and what are the operating systems which are mostly used. Okay, so the questions, whatever the question will be asked, it will be straightforward. Okay, so as it is for Cortex M, which will continue further, that A5 is a natural choice of for designer who have previously worked with this one. A7 gives 20% better performance than A5. So this is a comparative understanding between the A5 and A7. A7 is best choice for cost sensitive smartphones and tablet implementation. So this can be also the member, that is A7, which is mostly used in the smartphone application as well as tablet, in the use of tablets. A17 can be configured with up to 4 cores. So as I have told you about the multi-core, as we go with the higher version, starting from A5, A7, A8 until A17, so the higher version will have the multi-core. So as far as A17 is concerned, we have 4 cores. A14 is targeted for premium smartphones and tablets. Okay, so depending upon your higher end of smartphones and tablets, we will be going with the Cortex A70. We will be going with the Cortex A70. So mostly with the basic features, we go with A5, A7, and with the higher end versions, we go with A70. Okay, so these are the only few features you have to understand. So this was about the Cortex A. Now come to the Cortex R. Cortex R series is the smallest ARM processor targeted for high performance real-time application. As I have told you, the real applications like airbags, braking system engine, management, Blu-ray players, media players, etc. Okay, so you should know those application areas where Cortex are used. It responds quickly to serve the incoming interrupt. R7 supports 11-stage pipelining with strong branch prediction unit. Now, as far as your ARM7 TDMI is concerned, I have told you it is a three-stage pipelining where you have fetching, then decoding and execution. Okay, three-stage pipeline. But if you go with the Cortex R, the member of R7, it supports 11-stage pipelining. Okay, it supports 11-stage pipelining. So we haven't gone with the 11-stage pipelining. In your syllabus, you only have 3-stage pipelining, and that is for version 7, ARM7 TDMI. Okay. The last point is not suitable for rich operating system. So these are some features of Cortex R. And the last one is Cortex M. First Cortex M processor was released in 2004. It has ARM7 version 7 architecture. Now Cortex M mostly uses version 7 architecture. This architecture already we have studied. Okay, the programming model I'm talking about, in which we have seen there is a barrel shifter, there is ALU, there is a MAC. So these architecture is implemented in Cortex M. Okay, version 7 architecture is implemented in Cortex M. Cortex M0 Plus, Cortex M3 and Cortex M4. It has been designed for deeply microcontroller system. This is to be used in industrial applications where large number of peripherals have to be handled and controlled. Okay, so it's mostly associated with instrumentation part. Okay, as I have told you, so Cortex M is mostly used in industrial applications. So this was all about the concept and the features of ARM, Cortex A, Cortex R and Cortex M. So if the question is asked, it will be straightforward, and you should be just listing down the applications and the features of this Cortex. Then now we will proceed to the instruction sets now. I think I have talked about some of the features of instruction set now. See, after instruction sets, I will be talking about the addressing modes. Okay, I'm not going to go with the addressing mode first. I will start with instruction sets and then we will switch to the addressing modes. Now, as I have told you, your ARM can be switched between your ARM instructions and thumb instruction. When you talk about the ARM instruction, it is of 32-bit instruction set, and whenever you talk about the thumb, it is a 16-bit instruction set. That means it is a compressed version of your ARM. Okay, and whenever whenever the instructions are compressed, that is from 32-bit to 16-bit, then your code density is better. Your code density is better. That means within a given area, the instructions will be, the code density will be more. The code density will be more. Okay, so two instruction sets are there, ARM and thumb. So most of the thing I have already explained you, ARM instruction sets. As far as your RISC architecture, your ARM supports RISC architecture. And when your ARM supports RISC architecture, it supports load and store architecture. I have told you what do you mean by load and storing. Okay, so whenever you have to manipulate on the data, the first important thing is that data has to be brought from the memory towards the register, that is called as the loading, and then we are manipulating over the data. After manipulating over the data, then this data is stored back into the memory. So that is called as storing into the memory. So loading from the memory and storing back to the memory. So that is called as a load store architecture, and this is the beauty of RISC processor. Your ARM supports the RISC processor, RISC architecture. That's why it is a load and store architecture. And load and store architecture is the most important one. So today I'll be talking about some instructions which are related with the load and store. Okay, 3 address data processing instructions. I have already told you 3 address data processing means you have operand 1, you have operand 2, and you have operand 3. That means you have total 3 operands. Out of these 3 operands, 2 operands are source operand and 1 operand is the destination operand. That is what is called as the 3 address data processing instruction. In 8051, we haven't seen this type of feature. In ARM, in ARM we are finding this, where there are the two operands, source operands, and one is the destination. Okay, and one important thing is that there is a conditional execution. Conditional execution is important one. About the conditional execution, I have told you there are 16 conditional executions. We will talk. Yes, there are loads for multiple registers also are there. So we will see these features afterwards. Shift and ALU operation in single clock cycle. The last feature is important because I have told you whenever you are doing some ALU operation, whenever you do some ALU operation on the data, if you remember the programming model of your ARM, before the data is given to the ALU, we can have the pre-processing in the barrel shifter. We can have a pre-processing over the barrel shifter. Okay, so shift that barrel shifter is mostly used for shifting operation. So before actually I go with some ALU operation, I can have the shifting operation in the barrel shifter, and this is happening in a single clock cycle. This is happening in the single clock cycle. What does it mean? It means that a single instruction can be used in which you will be having shifting operation as well as ALU operation. So that's why a single clock cycle is required to execute that instruction. So that is the meaning of the last feature. So already I have told about this. So total there are 16 conditional execution. So total there are 16 conditional execution in which you can use this condition to execute the instruction. You can use this condition to execute the instruction. Now here one important thing I need to tell you, that whenever you talk about the condition execution, the four, now you know that ARM instructions are of 32 bits. Your ARM instruction is of Your ARM instruction is of 32 bits.
Yes, sir.
So whenever you talk about this 32 bit of instruction, out of this 32 bit, 4 bits are reserved. I think I already have told you. 4 bits are reserved. These 4 bits are reserved for conditional execution. Okay, these 4 bits are reserved for conditional execution. So always your LSB, 4-bit LSB, always your 4-bit, sorry, not LSB, MSB, because most significant bit. Okay, so it is from 0 to 31. It is 0 to 31. So 31, 30, 29, and 28. So these are the 4 bits: 28, 29, 30, and 31. So these 4 bits are always reserved for conditional execution. Okay, for conditional execution. So as 4 bits are reserved, so you have total 16 conditional execution. So you have total 16 conditional execution. So this is important. Always your MSB 4 bits are reserved for conditional execution. So हम जब instructions देखेंगे, examples related with this conditional execution, that time we will be able to understand these 4 bits which are reserved. That means, what does it mean? It means that for this EQ, okay, you have 4 bits, the unique 4 bits. For NE, you have unique 4 bits. For CS, you have unique 4 bits. So similarly, by using 4 bits, you can have 16 conditional codes. You can have 16 conditional codes. So हम जब आगे चल के जब example देखेंगे, that time it will be more clear. So for just understand that conditional execution का क्या importance है? Each data processing instruction prefixed by condition code, and whatever the instructions हम जब लिखते हैं, that is prefixed by condition code. And out of this 32 bits, 4 bits are the MSB 4 bits are reserved for conditional execution. Okay. So ये conditional execution क्या? What is the advantage of this? The advantage of this is that results in a smooth flow of instruction through pipeline. This is the most important advantage of using this conditional execution. Okay, results in a smooth flow of instructions through pipeline. If you see the example of 8051, वहाँ पे conditional execution के लिए we were having separate instructions. वहाँ पे एक ही इंस्ट्रक्शन में कंडीशन हम नहीं लिखते थे, लेकिन यहाँ पे एक ही सिंगल इंस्ट्रक्शन में we can write down the condition, and once that condition is satisfied, we can execute that instruction. Okay, so अगर 8051 मैं यूज कर रहा हूँ तो I should have used two different instructions, एक इंस्ट्रक्शन कंडीशन के लिए और अगर वो सेटिस्फाई होता है तो दूसरा इंस्ट्रक्शन एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए, लेकिन यहाँ पे दोनों काम एक ही इंस्ट्रक्शन में होते हैं. Okay, because prefixed by condition code, this is important, prefixed by condition code, and this is why what is the advantage? It results in a smooth flow of instruction through pipeline. Okay, so I think I have told you about the different 16 codes. Now we will be going with the instruction sets. Now we will be going to the instruction sets. So as far as your ARM instruction sets is concerned, I'm not talking about thumb instruction. I'm talking about ARM, that is 32-bit. So as far as 32-bit instruction sets are concerned, we have these different types of instruction sets. So the first one is data processing instruction. Okay, data processing instruction. Now in data processing instructions, we'll be saying that if I have to process the data, that means if I have to do some operations on the data, okay, then what are the different instructions available for processing the data? Then we have data transfer instructions. Now I want you to correlate these instruction sets with 8051. Okay, अगर हम correlate करेंगे तब हमको proper पता चल जाएगा कि हम वहाँ पे क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन यूज कर रहे थे और हम ARM में क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन यूज कर रहे थे, and you will have a comparative understanding of that. Okay, so data processing, we will see that in what different instructions are available in which we can have a data processing. In data transfer, we will see what are the data can be moved from one register to the other register, or from the memory towards the register, or from register to the memory. So they are called as a data transfer. Okay, then we will see the block transfer instructions. Under the block transfer instructions, we have dedicated instructions. Then we will see the branching instructions. जैसे हमने 8051 में पढ़ा था, branching can be conditional branch or it can be unconditional branch. Okay, there are two types were there, conditional branch and unconditional branch. So here also we will be talking about the branching instructions. Okay, then we have dedicated multiply instructions. Okay, ये dedicated क्यों है? Why we are having a dedicated multiply instructions, we will see when I will be talking about this particular group of instructions. And the last one is the software interrupt instruction. Okay, software interrupt instructions, in which already I have told you that if you have interrupt through the software, then how we can execute those instructions using the software interrupts. Okay, तो हम जब वो पढ़ेंगे, हम जब वहाँ पे आएंगे, that time we will be able to understand that. So, data processing instructions we will see later on. I need to start today with the load and store instruction. So load and store instruction will come under the data transfer instruction. Okay, तो हमने जब 5 to 6 जो group देखे हमने, the first one was related with the data processing, the second one was related with the data transfer. So we will start with the data transfer instruction first. and then we will switch to the data processing. Okay, because today I need to start with the load and store instruction. This because this load and store instruction is the important feature of your RISC processor, that is your ARM. Okay, so data transfer instructions here now. These are the few instructions. These are not the few, but these are the instructions which are associated with data transfers. Okay, I want everyone to pay attention now. Now, as far as data transfer instruction is concerned, we have to understand that loading and storing. Again, I'm saying loading means from the data is loaded from the memory into the register, and storing means the data, the result from the register will be stored back into the memory. Will be stored back into the memory. Now that is called as the load and store instruction. Now whenever you talk about the load and store instruction, now used to move signed and unsigned. So we can move signed number as well as unsigned number. Okay. So while talking about the data types, we have already seen in 8051 that we have signed numbers as well as unsigned number. I have told you when it is a signed number, the MSB will give you the sign of a number. Most significant bit will give you the sign of a number, and other than MSB, the remaining bits will give you the magnitude. Now magnitude and MSB bit hold together gives you the sign number. And when you talk about the unsigned number, there is no question of MSB bit, there is no question of magnitude, because it is unsigned number. The same thing is applicable in ARM also. We can have the data transfer of signed number as well as unsigned number. Now here, whenever you talk about the data transfer, this data transfer can be of a word, it can be of a half word, it can be of a byte. Okay, so we have to understand the word, the half word, and the byte. Okay, now these are the data types used in ARM. So whenever you talk about the word, it is of 32 bit. Bits. Whenever you talk about the half word, it is of 16 bits. And whenever you talk about the byte, it is of 8 bits. So do remember this. These are the data types used in the ARM. So as far as data transfer is concerned, we can have the loading and storing of a word, that is of 32 bit. We can have a loading and storing of a half word, that is of 16 bit. And as well as we can have a loading and storing of a data which is of 8 bits, or you can say a byte, Okay. Now, yes.
But 32 bit पहले हम कैसे मूव करेंगे, मतलब सर अगर डेटा ही 32 बिट का है तो सर वो जो रहेगा तो सर ऑपरेंड एंड ऑपकोड दोनों 32 बिट से तो ज्यादा ही होंगे, तो मतलब, और ये तो 32 बिट प्रोसेसर है, तो फिर कैसे?
मैं वही पॉइंट पे आ रहा हूँ See, whenever you talk about this word, half word, or a byte, okay, you know that this data can be moved from memory towards the register or vice versa. Okay. Now whenever you talk about, take an example of half word. If you take an example of a half word, let me show you. Whenever you take a word, take an example of half word, as I have told you, it is of 16 bit. Okay. Now whenever you talk about this 16 bit of data, now where this 16 bit of data will be carried, or where it will be accommodated. Okay. Now this will be accommodated in a register, and you know that register size is of 32 bit. Memory size is also of 32 bit. Okay. The handling capacity of memory as well as register is of 32 bit. Now out of this 32 bit, your least significant half word bits. Okay. That means if this is your 32 bit, this is your 0 to 31. I'm talking about, suppose, example of a register. Example of a register, and the size of register, you know, it is of 32 bit. Now least significant half word, that is from 0 to 15. 0 to 15. Now this 0 to 15 is reserved for your storing of this half word. 0 to 15 bits, total 16 bits are reserved to store your half word. What about the remaining bits? All bits will be 0. Remaining all bits will be 0. That is from 16 to 31. That is from 16 to 31, all bits will be 0. And actual data, which is of 16 bit, that is for half word, will be stored in the least significant bits, that is from 0 to 15. Now the same thing is applicable for this is something applicable for your byte also. Now whenever you talk about your byte, that is 8 bits, when you talk about 8 bits, that means bit number 0 to bit number 7. These are the bits which are dedicated for storing of 8 bits, that is, I am talking about byte. And the remaining, that is from bit number 8 to bit number 31, they are all zeros. They are all zeros. And same thing is applicable for your word also. Same thing is applicable for your word also. Now, whenever you talk about word, there is no question, because all your 32 bits are used. All your 32 bits are used to store the data. Okay. So what I meant to say, that whenever you talk about register, or whenever you talk about the memory content, it could be memory or it could be register. Okay. And the size of register as well as memory are of 32 bits. And whenever you talk about the data types, it can be half word of 16 bits, it can be byte of 8 bits, or it can be a word of 32 bits. So always your least significant bits will be occupied by the data, and other than these least significant bits, all other bits will be 0. I hope you understood this now.
यस सर. सर ये एक बार ये वाला जो रजिस्टर और मेमोरी, सर ये जीरोस क्यों है सर, वो एक बार एक्सप्लेन करोगे?
हाँ ठीक है. देखो मैं क्या बता रहा था आपको, कि हम जब लोड और स्टोर करते हैं, इसका मतलब क्या करते हैं, ये आपकी मेमोरी है और यहाँ पे आपका रजिस्टर है. ओके. लोडिंग मीन्स मेमोरी से लेके रजिस्टर में डालना, और स्टोरिंग मीन्स रजिस्टर से लेके मेमोरी में डालना. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज लोड एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड एज स्टोर. और ये है लोड एंड स्टोर आर्किटेक्चर विच इज मोस्टली फाउंड इन रिक्स प्रोसेसर, दैट इज योर आर्म. सो हम जब मेमोरी से कोई भी कंटेंट जब रजिस्टर में डालते हैं, हम लोड करते हैं, और हम जब रजिस्टर से हम मेमोरी में जब वापस डालते हैं, तो हम उसको स्टोर करते हैं. ओके. नाउ you know the size of register as well as the size of memory, it is of 32 bits. It is of 32 bits. Okay. तो हम जब लोड और स्टोर की जब इंस्ट्रक्शंस देखेंगे, तो मुझे आपको ये बताना है कि हम जब लोड और स्टोर करेंगे, तो एक्चुअली आई एम वर्किंग ऑन 32 बिट्स और 16 बिट्स और 8 बिट्स. So whenever you talk about 32 bits, it is a word. Whenever you talk about 16, it is a half word. And whenever you talk about 8 bits, you are talking about byte. इसके अलावा हम किसी भी डेटा को एक्सेस नहीं कर सकते. साइज शुड बी ईदर 32 और 16 और 8. लेकिन अभी हम जब बता रहे कि your register and your memory size is of 32 bits. As far as word is concerned, you are utilizing all 32 bits. But if you are talking about half word, that is your size of your data is of 16 bit, then the 16 bit will be occupied with the least significant bit starting from 0 to 15. तो हमारा जो 16 बिट का जो डेटा है ना, वो 0 to 15 में ही ऑक्यूपाई होता है, और बाकी का जो 16 से लेके जो 32 है, ये सब बिट्स हमारे 0 होते हैं. वैसे ही जब हम बाइट की बात करते हैं, तो हमारा 0 से लेके जो 7 बिट जो होते हैं, टोटल हमारे जो 8 बिट्स होते हैं, एक्चुअली दैट इज ऑक्यूपाइड बाय द डेटा. ओके, दैट इज ऑक्यूपाइड बाय द डेटा. और बाकी का जो 8 से लेके 31 बिट है, all bits will be 0. All bits will be 0. Okay, that means your actual data will be available from 0 to 7 whenever you talk about 8 bits or 1 by single byte. If you talk about half word, your actual data will be occupied from 0 to 15, and 16 to 32, all the bits will be 0. And whenever you talk about the word, there is no question, because all your 32 bits will be occupied as a data. Okay, then your 32 bits will be used as a data, as a whole 32 bits will be used as a data. अभी समझा?
Yes sir. Sir, but सर वो जो
हाँ
मेरा डाउट था वो रिगार्डिंग सर, वो 32 बिट अगर पूरा डेटा ही हो जाएगा तो ऑपरेंड के लिए कितना,
हाँ
मतलब
नहीं, लेकिन जब हम 32 बिट हम यूज करते हैं ना, इन दैट केस आपका इंस्ट्रक्शन का साइज जो होता है दैट इज ऑफ 32 बिट. ओके, नाउ इन दैट केस आपके जो ऑपरेंड्स जो होते हैं, लेकिन हम जब डेटा प्रोसेसिंग की जब बात करते हैं तो एक्चुअली हम वी आर प्रोसेसिंग ऑन 32 बिट ऑफ डेटा. लेकिन हम ये जो लोड और स्टोर की जब बात करते हैं, लोड एंड स्टोरिंग, तो हम जब इसके एग्जांपल जब देखेंगे एलडीआर और एसटीआर के, that time it will be clear that what could be the whatever is the data size 32, 60, 16 or 8. Okay, we can directly manipulate or directly we can process that process on the data. Okay, that means हमको सिर्फ डेटा अगर ट्रांसफर करना है, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द डेटा प्रोसेसिंग, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द डेटा movement. Whenever you have to make the data move from memory towards the register or from register towards the memory, in that case you are using load and store instruction, and you are actually working on 32 bit or half word or a single byte. तो वहां पे प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता है, there is no problem. डेटा प्रोसेसिंग जब हम करते हैं ना, in that case along with the instructions we are to use the dedicated 32 bit. अगर हम 32 bit पे हम प्रोसेसिंग कर रहे हैं, okay, then that will be executed not in a single cycle, because इंस्ट्रक्शन का जो साइज है वो 32 बिट है, और डेटा जिसपे हम प्रोसेस कर रहे हैं दैट इज आल्सो 32 बिट, then that won't be perform in a single cycle, that would require more than single cycle. तो हम जब डेटा प्रोसेसिंग जब करेंगे, अर्थमेटिक ऑपरेशन, सब्ट्रैक्शन, ये सब जब देखेंगे, that time I will make you more clear that how this instruction along with the data can be processed. Is it clear?
yes sir.
Okay. So this was about the load and store. Yes, here now. Pay attention here, all of you. Now, as I was talking about load and store. Now this is instruction LDR, load word, STR, store word, LDRH, load half word, STRH, store half word, LDRSH, load signed half word, STRSH, store signed half word, LDRB, load byte, STRB, store byte, LDRSB, load signed byte, STRSB, store signed byte. Okay, so how many load instructions? So dedicated load instructions are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and dedicated store instructions are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total there are 10 load and store instructions. Okay, and depending upon हम कितने साइज ऑफ डेटा पे काम कर रहे हैं, वर्ड पे कर रहे हैं या हाफ वर्ड पे कर रहे हैं या फिर बाइट पे कर रहे हैं या फिर साइंड नंबर पे कर रहे हैं, depending upon that you have different varieties of load and store instruction. So I want everyone to remember this. You should know this. Everyone should by heart this, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन कैन बी related with this कि अगर हम स्टोर साइन बाइट कर रहे हैं तो व्हाट इज इंस्ट्रक्शन, तो इट इज STRSB here. अगर हम स्टोर साइन बाइट कर रहे हैं तो यू हैव STRSB, और वही अगर मैं स्टोर साइन हाफ वर्ड कर रहा हूँ तो इट इज STRSH. It is STRSH. Okay, so these are the 10 dedicated instructions we have. Any questions related with this now? Shall I proceed further?
Yes sir.
Okay, now something more about this now. Okay, now here, before I start with the block transfer, let me talk something about, yes. Now all of you pay attention, load store instruction, some important thing I need to talk about this now. Now whenever you talk about the load and store, let me give an example now. Whenever you talk about LDR, I am now giving you an example now. LDR R9, comma, in square bracket R12, comma, R8, comma, LSL hash 2. Now see here. Now this is an example now. LDR R9, comma, in the square bracket R12, comma, R8, comma, LSL space hash 2, space hash 2. Okay. Now you know that LDR is what? Whenever you talk about LDR, it is loading. How much? It is loading your word of 32 bits. Okay, LDR जब हम बात करते हैं, that is loading your data and the size of the data is of 32 bits. Okay, अभी मुझे लोड किस में करना है? R9 में. मुझे लोड करना है R9 में. कहाँ से लोड करना है? मेमोरी में से. I want everyone to pay attention. This is important. Whenever you talk about LDR, it means I am loading. From where I am loading? I am loading from the memory. Where I am loading? I am loading into the register. हमको लोड करना है R9 में. हमको लोड करना है R9 में. और हमको कहाँ से लोड करना है? मेमोरी में से लोड करना है. ना हम जब मेमोरी से मुझे जो लोड करना है, that memory address is called as an effective address. That is called as an effective address. और वो मेमोरी का एड्रेस या फिर इफेक्टिव एड्रेस मुझे कहाँ से मिलेगा? मुझे यहाँ से मिलेगा. मुझे यहाँ से मिलेगा. ओके, अब यहाँ पे क्या है? यहाँ पे R12 है. यहाँ पे R12 है. Now R12 is called as a base address. What is R8? R8 is called as offset address. I want you to correlate this instruction with the instruction of 8051. अगर मुझे ये करना पड़ता था 8051 में, तो I would require more than one instruction. लेकिन यहाँ पे एक ही इंस्ट्रक्शन में सब काम हो रहा है. Okay. Now again I'm saying that you have a memory and you have a register. ये मेमोरी का जो इफेक्टिव एड्रेस है वो कैलकुलेट करना, that effective address is calculated by using your base address R12 and by using offset address that is R8. अब वो कैसे हो रहा है? See here now. I will give you an example. Now.
सर ये इंस्ट्रक्शन क्या था सर? LSL
कौन सा
सर? इसमें पहले जो इंस्ट्रक्शन था ना सर, वो ब्रैकेट में
ये वाला ना?
क्या है?
हाँ ये ना हाँ, ये मैं बता रहा
yes
हूँ,
sir.
मैं बता रहा हूँ. आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग व्हाट इज दिस. I will give an example first, then I will explain about this. Now, whenever you talk about the calculation of a effective address, जिस इफेक्टिव एड्रेस यानी मेमोरी का जो इफेक्टिव एड्रेस है वहां से मुझे जो डेटा लोड करना है रजिस्टर में. ओके, रजिस्टर में. ना फॉर एग्जांपल यही जो मैंने एग्जांपल दिया, वही एग्जांपल में सपोज R9 है 0x4000. फॉर एग्जांपल R9 कंटेंट है 0x4000. ओके, एंड R8 का जो कंटेंट है, R8 का जो कंटेंट है, R8 इज व्हाट, इट इज माय ऑफसेट एड्रेस. R9 क्या दे रहा है, दैट इट गिव्स मी द बेस एड्रेस. तो इफेक्टिव एड्रेस मुझे कैलकुलेट करना है, तो इफेक्टिव एड्रेस कैलकुलेट करने के लिए बेस एड्रेस ये हमने सब पढ़ा है 8051 में, प्लस ऑफसेट एड्रेस, प्लस ऑफसेट एड्रेस, प्लस ऑफसेट एड्रेस. ओके, बेस एड्रेस आपका R9 बता रहा है, ऑफसेट एड्रेस आपका R8 बता रहा है. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपका R9 है 0x4000 और सपोज R8 का जो कंटेंट वैल्यू है वो है 0x20. अभी मुझे इफेक्टिव एड्रेस निकालना है. अभी मैं क्या करूंगा, सी हियर आई विल गो बैक नाउ दिस हियर. R12 आपको पता है क्या वैल्यू है, क्या कंटेंट, R12 का क्या कंटेंट है. आपको पता है R8 का क्या कंटेंट है. R9 yes. So whenever you talk about this R8, this R8 is processed with LSL #2. What is this LSL now? LSL is nothing but logical shift left. LSL stands for logical shift left. By how many bits? By 2 bits. LSL #2 का मतलब होता है logical shift left by how many bits? By 2 bits. ओके, लॉजिकल शिफ्ट लेफ्ट किसको करना है मुझे? R8 को करना है. लॉजिकल शिफ्ट किसको करना है मुझे? R8 को करना है. ओके, नाउ अगर मैं इसको शिफ्ट करता हूं, R8 को लॉजिकल लेफ्ट शिफ्ट करता हूं बाय 2 बिट्स, इसी का मतलब होता है आई एम मल्टीप्लाइंग बाय 4. प्लीज रिमेंबर, whenever I am saying LSL लॉजिकल शिफ्ट लेफ्ट बाय 2 बिट्स, इसी का मतलब होता है मल्टीप्लाई बाय 4. ओके, ये आप आराम से करके देखो घर पे. ओके, आप बिट्स को 2 बार शिफ्ट करो लेफ्ट, लॉजिकल शिफ्ट 2 बार करो, जो आंसर आता है वो आंसर का मतलब होता है कि दैट इज नथिंग बट यू आर मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 4. तो अगर R8 का मेरा कंटेंट है 0x20, इसका मतलब अगर मैं लॉजिकल लेफ्ट शिफ्ट 2 बार करता हूँ, इसका मतलब आई मल्टीप्लाई बाय 4. तो इसका आंसर कितना आता है? इसका आंसर आता है 4 0 0, 4 2 8. ओके, एंड x and 0. So 0x20 multiplied by 4 will give you 0x80. ओके, तो मेरा इफेक्टिव एड्रेस तो मेरा ऑफसेट एड्रेस जो है वो क्या है? वो है मेरा 0x80. ओके, नाउ अभी जो मेरा बेस एड्रेस है, नाउ कम बैक टू द प्रीवियस वन. नाउ मेरा जो भी बेस एड्रेस है, ओके, वो बेस एड्रेस का कंटेंट क्या है? 0x4000. ओके, नाउ दिस बेस एड्रेस I think I made wrong here. Here should be it is R12. ये R12 होना चाहिए, R12. Okay, R12. So my R12 is my base address. R8 is my offset address. Offset address I have calculated. Offset address मैंने calculate किया है. R8, LSL #2 का मतलब होता है R8 जो भी कंटेंट है that is multiplied by 4. तो मेरा ऑफसेट भी आ गया, मेरा बेस एड्रेस है R12 मेरे पास है. अभी बेस एड्रेस प्लस ऑफसेट एड्रेस ये जब मैं करूंगा, सो यू हैव R12 एज दिस वैल्यू एंड यू हैव R8 एज 0x80. अगर मैं दोनों को ऐड करता हूँ, what would be the final answer? It will be 0x4080. Do you agree with this? 0.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है सबको?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just I will take more 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. So I was talking about this. Now your R12 is 0x4000 and this has to be added with the offset address, and offset address we have got 0x80. अब जब मैं इसको और इसके साथ ऐड करूंगा, don't you think you will get 0x4080? Yes or no? 0x4080? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now can I say my effective address I have got? How I got this effective address? I got this effective address by R12 plus R8 multiply by 4. Do you agree with this? Yes or no? इफेक्टिव एड्रेस मुझे कैसे मिला? R12 मेरा बेस एड्रेस था और R8 मल्टीप्लाई बाय जो 4 है, ये मल्टीप्लाई बाय 4 का मतलब होता है LSL #2. ये आप करके देखना, लॉजिकल शिफ्ट लेफ्ट करना 2 बार, उसी का मतलब है कि मल्टीप्लाई बाय 4, उसी का मतलब होता है मल्टीप्लाई बाय 4. ओके, तो R8 इंटू 4 किया मैंने, ये क्या है? I have got my offset address. So offset address plus base address will give me effective address. Okay, तो यहाँ पे मेरा effective address क्या है? मुझे मिला है 0x4080. और ये जो एड्रेस है मेमोरी का, इसमें जो भी कुछ है that is loaded into where? That is loaded in R9. ये देखो मेरा इंस्ट्रक्शन क्या था, LDR R9 मुझे लोड करना है. मेमोरी का भी मैंने इफेक्टिव एड्रेस कैलकुलेट किया है, ये पूरा मैंने कैलकुलेशन किया है. अब वो मेमोरी एड्रेस में जो भी कुछ कंटेंट है that will be loaded into register R9. I hope you have understood now.
Yes, sir.
समझ में आई है?
हाँ सर.
तो मुझे ये बताना था कि मुझे मेमोरी का जो एड्रेस कैलकुलेशन करना है वो बेस एड्रेस और इफेक्टिव और ऑफसेट एड्रेस को ऐड करके मुझे मिला है. तो ये जो मुझे फाइनल जो आंसर मिला है इफेक्टिव एड्रेस, वो मुझे ये मिला है. और ये मेमोरी एड्रेस लोकेशन में जो भी कुछ डेटा है वो मुझे लोड करना है R9 में, बस खत्म, दैट इज द मीनिंग। तो उसके लिए एक सिंगल इंस्ट्रक्शन है LDR R9 कॉमा इन स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट R12 कॉमा R8 कॉमा LSL स्पेस #2। अब देखो यही कर, अगर मैं 8051 में करता था, आई वुड रिक्वायर मोर देन 1 इंस्ट्रक्शन, या 2 या 3 इंस्ट्रक्शन मुझे लगते थे ये सब करने को। मुझे 2 या 3 इंस्ट्रक्शंस लगते थे। अभी वही काम मैंने आर्म में एक सिंगल इंस्ट्रक्शन यूज करके किया है। इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन नाउ?
यस सर।
ओके, आई थिंक वी कैन स्टॉप फॉर टुडे। 3:30 बजे प्रैक्टिकल नहीं होगा, लेक्चर होने वाला है, तो एवरीवन प्लीज बी प्रेजेंट। ओके
यस सर।
मनीष, अटेंडेंस हो गया क्या?
सर परमेश्वरी मैम ने ज्वाइन तो किया था बीच में, बट यहाँ पे ना मतलब चैट पे डाला नहीं है मैम ने क्या सच कुछ भी।
अच्छा, चैट पे नहीं डाला है। भुवना इज देयर? मनीष है क्या? मनीष? अच्छा एक काम करो, कोई तो भी है ना, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो एंड आफ्टरवर्ड शेयर दिस अटेंडेंस टू द परमेश्वरी मैडम, ठीक है?
यस सर, एक मिनट में
दोनों
ले रहा
सीआर यहाँ पे नहीं है अभी। मनीष है यहाँ पे?
सर मैं ले लेता हूँ
हाँ
स्क्रीनशॉट।
ठीक है, साहिल तुम ले लो, हाँ साहब तुम ले लो, और बाद में फिर शेयर कर देना परमेश्वरी मैडम के साथ, ठीक है?
डन सर।
डन, ओके ओके, एवरीवन कैन लीव देन, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर, टेक केयर।
Thank you, sir.
ओके, थैंक यू,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Take care, sir.
थैंक यू।